Morning guys, I'm Neil.
And I'm Kirsten.
And together
we are Roaming Oz Adventures.
What are we doing today, babe?
We're going to go down to the Coxs River and check out the Coxs River swing bridge.
And we might check out the campsite down there. After we've done that, we're going to drive the historic 6-foot track up to the top of Black Range. Along the way, if the track and the gate is open, we may even duck out to Gibraltar Rocks. We'll just see if that access track is open.
Yep. And we're doing this one as just a day trek. You can camp overnight if you wanted to. So as Neil mentioned earlier, we will show you the campsite down at the Coxs River. We'll also show you another couple along the way.
It's a bit of a mixed bag of weather today because it is winter. We've already had a very light shower come through, so who knows what the day's going to bring, but let's get in and enjoy this adventure.
Yeah, let's do it.
The first part of this trek is all on tar roads. We're just coming up to our first turn off, so we're now heading down where it says no through road, but guess what, you can go through if you've got a foot drive. So now we're on to a bit of easy dirt. At this point, not going to put the tyres down, we're still running highway pressure. No real need to do that because it is a very easy trek, four-wheel drive for purposes of crossing some of the creek crossings later on. And if it does get a bit rougher, we'll just decide to drop the tyres down as we feel the need to do. Enjoy the drive. So we're just coming into an area, like a neighbourhood area, where there's a barbecue area and an old church and some tennis courts. I'm going to show you those now as we pull over.
Well, this is no longer used as a church. It's now used as a community hall. Well, as you can see, this is private property, but you can book it through the Coonamble Valley Sports and Rec Club. We're just driving along this early stage of the trek. It is a very, very good dirt road, and we're just following along by the Coxs River. It's quite pretty just looking down there and through this bit of open farmland.
There's plenty of water flowing at the moment. It's quite nice.
Might make some of those creek crossings a bit of fun.
It will. So as you go along a bit further, you will start to see sign posts and signs that say 6-foot track. Just make sure you follow those and don't end up driving into someone's private property. Sometimes it does look like you're driving into private property, but you do have right of way on the road. Just don't deviate from the road. So it's been about 3 or 4 years since we last drove this road, and I can tell you they certainly have improved it out of sight. It's almost like a dirt highway for
It's great.
this part. The drive into the main Coxs River campsite may be still a bit dodgy. We'll see what that's like. We haven't got there yet, but so far what used to be quite rough, it's really good. So we're just coming to the intersection now with the 6-foot track which goes to the right, and we're going to go left and go down to the Coxs River Campground. We're just going past or around the old cattle yards which are on our left.
And the road does get a little bit rougher here, as you can see. It is a 4-wheel drive track only.
Yes. We'll see what this track into the campground is like. It used to be pretty rough in places. A couple of creek crossings, nothing really too difficult, but we'll see.
And it's from this point, I think, we'll judge the road as it comes, but we might need to air down a little bit. We'll just wait and see what it's looking like.
Yeah. We haven't seen any other tyre tracks. That puddle we went through in the creek was actually crystal clear, so I don't know if it's actually come through. So there may be people down at the campsite. It is a popular one. but there may be no one at all as well, so we'll just wait and see.
So here we are at the Coxs River Campground. This campground has been done up a fair bit and it is just beautiful. The river is just down there. We've got facilities here. We've got the water tank. You're probably best off filtering that water if you do use it. And we've got toilets in behind. We've got this great shelter here. And best for us, we've got the coffee brewing and some fruitcake to have too.
How's that coffee, babe?
It is really good. I'm loving the Conqueco machine. Heats the water up so I get a nice toasty hot coffee of deliciousness and a fruitcake, so I am set. And I might consider making you a coffee soon too.
I'm looking forward to that. So you can see the campground behind us there. We're going to head down to the Coxs River and check that out, and then we'll go for a wander upstream to the swing bridge, and we'll show you that because that's a lot of fun.
It is.
And quite unique.
And this part of the river just here is great for, in summer especially, going for a quick dip. It can be very popular with people, but it is just a beautiful little spot here on the river.
100%. It is absolutely brilliant in summer, but it can be very packed out here, so you need to get here on a Friday afternoon. Pick your spot.
Well, there's nothing like staying down here for the weekend. Bring your inner tubes, float down the river. Absolutely a lot of fun. Up on the hill here is the Eco Lodge. This is a great place that you can book in to stay at. It is fairly rustic. And of course, as hikers, you can stop in and get a drink if you choose.
So we're just walking along the 6-foot track towards Bowtell Swing Bridge. Probably take about 15-20 minutes to walk there. Worth having a look.
Well, we've just got to the Bowtell Swing Bridge. This one has recently been upgraded and recently reopened. This bridge here is much more robust than the one that was here before. Let's go give it a go.
So we're just walking across the Bowtell Swing Bridge. A lot nicer than it used to be.
It does still have a bit of a rock to it though.
Oh, it's got a lot of bounce. The old one was only rated to one person at a time. This one is rated to 5 people at a time, so that's something. And there are a few people around today, but and there's been a few snow flurries too. We're just walking back across the bridge and there's tiny bits of snow just sort of trying to form and blowing around us, but it's kind of cool. Well, we've checked out the Bowtell Swing Bridge. We're going to head back to the campground and then we're going to do the 6-foot track part of this 4-wheel drive trek. We'll keep going.
That bridge is really cool, bounces a lot, so much fun. Well, we've just got back from the swing bridge there across the Coxs River. This campground here, absolutely fabulous. Definitely a place I would come and stay if I was wanting to come and camp overnight out here. And as we're heading back to the car park, we've got Neil here and he is airing down our tyres.
So the next part of this trek up the old historic 6-foot track, it's a bit rougher. There's a couple of really rough creek crossings, so highway pressure is not a great idea. We're using our handy dandy auto deflators. So I've just put this one on the front and that'll just do its thing and I'll go to the next one. So we're just driving out from the Coxs River Campground. There's a lot of cars have come down since we went for a walk to the Bowtell Swing Bridge, so parking's at a real premium down here at the moment. Not much room to manoeuvre past other cars that don't really want to get off the road. So we're just heading back up to the old cattle yards. As you saw, we've aired down, so we're then going to turn left and start heading up the old 6-foot track, which is more a Firetrail these days. The weather has improved though. It's not
It's not raining anymore.
sleeting anymore. So we'll
Blue
keep on
sky
going.
day is back.
That's it. So we've just stopped in on our way on the 6-foot track at the Alum Creek campground. This one's not for cars, this one's for the hikers. You have got a toilet block up here, which is handy. And in the campground itself, you do actually have quite a nice clearing. And also you've got a water tank, which still always treat that water, and a shelter, and some seats. It is a popular one. A couple of the people we spoke to when we're down at the Coxs River Campground, they are actually coming here for the night, so they've only got a couple of hours walk up from that campground, but this is quite nice. And you've got the creek flowing around on one side. So we've come a little ways from Alum Creek, not far, and the track is quite slushy at the moment as we've got the creek on our left hand side. We did one creek crossing just after Alum Creek, of Alum Creek itself. I guess one of the main creek crossings is coming up and it can be a bit rough, so if you can't quite see what's going on with it, always worth stopping and checking that. So we're just going to do that one now.
On this part of the track, you do have to be careful of hikers being around. Hiking the 6-foot track is very, very popular. Most people take about 3 days to do it. So generally speaking, long weekends, it can be very, very popular with hikers. I did this one, about 4 or 5 years ago now, 40-degree heat. Wow, driving up these hills, I'm certainly glad I'm not walking them today.
So we've just got to the Waterfall Creek Firetrail. It does look like the gate is open at the moment, so if you don't want to take a bit more of an adventurous route, you just keep going up a 6-foot track and it's not too hard. Waterfall Creek is not really hard. Been a few years since I've taken this one, but we're going to see if we can get out to Gibraltar Rocks. So we're turning off to the right and going down Waterfall Creek way and then back up the other side. If it is greasy, we will be coming back this way and then going back up the 6-foot track. So let's see what conditions are like down the bottom. Okay. As always, if you'd like to see some more detail on this trek, we'll put a link to our website below. We'll also have an interactive map so you can see exactly where we went and you can decide if you want to do it yourself. So the trek we're doing today, we're doing it in the BT50. It's pretty unmodified, as we've probably said before. All we've got is a long-range fuel tank on. We haven't put a lift kit in it yet. Anyone that's got a fairly reasonable four-wheel drive can do this trek. It's not that hard. As I said, just check the creek crossings, make sure that they're okay. The rest of it is pretty easy, so get out there and enjoy.
Yeah, have some fun.
We've just crossed Waterfall Creek, which is reasonably big. We're just going to give this hill a go, which is pretty chopped up from the recent rains. We are in 4 low, and it is looking pretty chopped up, and it's quite a clayey surface, so got to get a right boot to get up this little bit.
So far the BT's doing it pretty easy.
Yeah, we have got the rear lock already as well, but just to be sure, because that is a bit of a slippery bit. So we've just got to the top of the Waterfall Creek Firetrail, and we've come to a Tina section, which is the mini Firetrail. The road to the right, which does go across to Gibraltar Rocks Firetrail, that's looking a little extreme at the moment, so we've turned left and we'll take the slightly longer way, but should be a lot easier way of getting up and heading out to Gibraltar Rocks. So this is much more civilised. Don't mind going off-road, but don't want to break the car either. So your choice if you go left or right.
A few bog holes and little bits of water to get through on our way out here.
Yeah, Gibraltar Rocks Firetrail is well known for bog holes that can swallow cars, but today they weren't too bad. They had a rocky bottom and most of them never even felt slippery, but there's a few chicken tracks that we used, so some you have no choice, and we're just coming down the last 50-80 metres towards the end of the Firetrail, and then we're going to go and check out the views, which we can start to see already. So we'll show you those in a tick. So we've made it to Gibraltar Rocks, and the views from here are just amazing. There's a group of guys camping up the top there. They've been here last night, so they're enjoying the views to wake up to this morning like we're seeing here. It's stunning. Anyway, we'll keep on going.
Well, those views out there were pretty spectacular. They're just amazing.
Yeah, the views from Gibraltar Rocks are worth the drive, and a few mud puddles and a bit of rocking and rolling with some rocky sections.
Yeah.
It is a good spot to camp as well. A bit packed out with a group of guys there today, but that's right. We weren't out here camping this weekend. We're just doing this as a day trek.
Yeah.
And we're just working our way back up the hill from that campsite. So we have two choices when you come back from Gibraltar Rocks. We went back down to the mini Firetrail, and you could turn left and head back the way we just came, back down into Waterfall Creek itself. We turned right to get onto the main Firetrail, and
Did turn out so good with a locked gate.
So we've come back up Gibraltar Firetrail. There's a couple of alternate tracks that should get us down onto the same track, so we're just taking one of those now. This one's probably a rougher one than the other one we saw earlier, but we're going to see how we go with this, and then we'll continue along. So we just took that short hill descent to get around that gate. That looks like that track has been there for an awful long time. That brought us back down onto the mini Firetrail just past the gate. And this part of the mini Firetrail is just forestry roads. It's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to work our way across to Range Campground, and we're going to have some lunch over there. It's a little bit of distance still to go, but yeah, we're just enjoying driving through the forest here. It does snow here in winter, so if you come up here in the middle of winter in the right conditions, you will see snow. So bonus if you come out in winter.
We might even get a bit today if we're lucky.
You never know.
Well, we've just pulled over to fix up one of the cameras, and guess what? It started snowing. It's icy snow, but it's still snow.
So we've just parked up, pretty wet underfoot. As you can see, we've got a water tank over here and a shelter, and there is lots of places to set up a tent if this is what you want to do. It's a really nice flat area, and in spring it's just covered in flowers, just stunning. There are seats everywhere, and there's fire pits as well, but as you can see, there's the toilet block and a really nice grassy area. It does look like something's been tearing up the campground, so there's probably wild pigs been tearing this up, but as you can see, this is a really nice area. Anyway, we're going to have some lunch.
So Kirsten's made us lunch, and it is a bit chilly. It's probably in the minuses with wind chill. But we're just literally sitting here in the shelter, eating lunch, and just watching the snow sort of drift down.
And it's just floating.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But the wind is just whipping those clouds past us at such a rate of knots.
Yeah.
And it was quite an experience to sit on metal seats this cold. Parts of your anatomy don't enjoy it, really.
It is freezing on these metal seats. Should have brought a pillow.
Anyway, we're going to enjoy lunch, and then we'll do the last part of this trek.
Well, we've just had lunch, and it is freezing. The temperature just outside ambient has hit 1 degree, and
with the wind as well, because it is blowing a gale here.
it's probably about -3. And I can tell you now, even with a jacket on, our fingers were frozen just having lunch. But it was still good to stop and have lunch. It's a good campsite. So we are literally just a couple of minutes away from Jenolan Caves Rd, which really is the end of this trek. You can extend it if you want to a little further and virtually go straight across the road, or on a bit of an angle to the right, and then go through the pine forest to Oberon Road. But for now, we'll get to Jenolan Caves Rd in a couple of minutes, and that'll be the end of the trek. If you want to see this trek in its entirety, we'll put a link to our website down below, so you can actually see more detail about that. If you've liked this video, what do?
We give it a thumbs up,
We do.
drop a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel.
100%. We'll see you in the next video, guys.
See
Thanks
ya.
for watching.